Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skysworld.com for life coaching and mentoring. Let's talk about manhood. What makes a man? You know, it's funny because my father used to give me a lot of advice. Even though I only knew him for a short amount of time, he would try to spit a lot of game to me. Of course, my father was a very toxic, crazy psychopath. He was a murderer, a killer, straight up killer. He's a gangster, full-time criminal. And he used to always tell me, you gotta be a man. That was one of the things that he would try to drill into me. You gotta be a man, you gotta be a man, you gotta be a man. And I didn't even know what that meant. Be a man, how? In what way? What, be like you? What does it even mean to be a man? You just pick some role model or some version of manhood in a movie and then just try to pretend to be that? What does it mean? I mean, you're born with a dick. Isn't that enough? What does it mean? You can be a male. You're born whatever gender you are, right? We only have two genders. You're born either a man or a woman. But just because you're born a male part of the species, doesn't mean you're a man. You choose to be a man. You choose it every day. What defines manhood? Well, maybe it's easier to decide what doesn't define it. Some of this stuff may surprise you. What doesn't define manhood is your job. Anybody can have a job. I had a job. My first job was being a paper boy, and I was 12 years old, 11 years old. Anybody can have a job. What doesn't make you a man is your wife. Just because you got married, you tricked some dumb chick from around the way to hook up with you, to live with you and make you food and stuff, doesn't mean that you're a man. I know lots of guys that are married that are overgrown children, little babies, and who they married was a version of their mother. So being married, having a wife, being in a relationship doesn't make you a man. A woman won't make you a man. What doesn't make you a man? Having kids. Just because you had kids doesn't mean you're a man. There's lots and lots of fathers who are just little boys. What makes a man is his work. Now you're confused. Because you just heard me say job isn't your man, isn't what makes you a man. Your job isn't what makes you a man. But your work does. It's not just semantics. There's a difference between your job and your work, and I'm not talking about career. You work at McDonald's, it doesn't mean that you should be working at as a CEO of some major corporation and then you'll find your manhood. CEOs of major corporations are no more men than some guy who's a janitor. Your job isn't your manhood, but your work is. What is your work? Your work can be defined as your rate of change, the good you do each day towards bettering yourself. Your work can be defined as the person that you create yourself as, the leadership role that you step into. Your manhood can be defined as a process of becoming, a process of your own greatness. So to be a man, it means that you have to put in work every single day, beyond just your job, beyond just sticking it to your wife, beyond just taking your kid to school or the playground. None of that is manhood. None of it. I'm sorry if you feel that it is. It's not. This isn't just my opinion. This has been known for thousands of years. I don't get on here and make stuff up. I pass on information. Your manhood is found in your work. A man is defined by the work that he puts in every day. This is why I get on here and try to preach mind, body, and soul. This is why when we do life coaching and you come to me with various issues, we start with this, with the work, to build you as a man, to make you strong, so you can detach from your emotions while everybody's lost in it, so you can navigate in a role of leadership instead of like a blind follower. The work that you put in every single day with your mind, body, and soul program brings you towards your greatness every single day. Just one little step closer. An individual who puts in no work, who doesn't follow a program like this religiously, with discipline, can very easily just remain an overgrown child. An overgrown child raising children. An overgrown child in a relationship with his mother. An overgrown child showing up to a job and playing behind a desk, not really with any purpose or meaning. And this is why many people, many men I should say, when they lose their woman, they shatter, they fall apart. Many men, when they lose their families, they fall apart. Many men, when they lose their job. This is a huge one. You didn't realize that a job is more important than family to many men. It's not my opinion. It's a fact. It's been studied. Men will tell you this. Their job is the most important thing to them, and they think that it makes them a man. I'm a man because I show up to work every day, and that's what men do. I've been working since I was a little boy. I haven't realized manhood until somewhat recently, at least in my opinion. Manhood is a choice. It's a lifestyle choice. It's a leadership choice. And that has to start with building your own character, your own virtue, with building yourself to become strong enough to overflow with character, with value. A man creates himself into something valuable. That's why men are valuable. Boys aren't. Boys aren't valuable. Men are valuable. But you have to choose to be a man. There's a lot of 65-year-old boys. I know some 45-year-old boys, some 36-year-old boys. But I know some 25-year-old men. It doesn't matter your age, it matters what kind of work are you putting in. What kind of work are you going to put in today towards your manhood? My dad used to always say, become a man. I never knew what it meant. Don't know what it means. I got a job. I got a girlfriend. What more do you want from me? I want you to put in work every single day. Mind, body, and soul. Get busy right now.